Good evening, I'm Nancy Dodge from YB Stamp and welcome to my monthly product highlight live on YouTube. I hope you are well, had a great Father's Day. My girls came over and cooked and just hung out with their dad, did a little gardening. It was very nice. Beautiful weather, low 70s, low humidity. I could have done without the pollen, but as I'm sure most of you know, my allergies are just terrible. Anyway, today we are going to look at some different ways to use Meandering Meadows. Say that 10 times fast. The bundle is known as Garden Meadows, but the whole suite is known as Meandering Meadows. So here are the products that are in the suite. There are the Dragonfly and Bird golden gems. There are the Garden Meadow dies. There is the pecan pie ribbon. There's the Garden Meadow stamp set and the Meandering Meadows stamp set. No, Meandering Meadows designer series paper. Looking at the picture and everything is all pretty much the same, but all right. So I think I showed you. So here's the pecan pie ribbon. It's vanilla with the pecan pie down the middle. It's very soft, very, very soft. And here are the Dragonfly and Bird gems, golden gems. Sorry, my ring lights shining on those. And the birds go in two different directions. Whoops, can't quite see that. I'll pull it out of this little package here and you'll see it better. So there are birds flying down and then there are also birds flying up, which is nice. So you could put them in different directions. Here are the dies. This is just how I set them up, but I'll show you the stamp set. So the stamp set, here's the stamp set. So this is just a plain die. This will cut out the boots. This one cuts out the birds. This one cuts out the little rake. This cuts out the wheelbarrow. Now there are two different dies for a fence. This one will cut out this, and then this one will just plain cut like a white picket fence, so to speak. This one cuts out this. This cuts out this. These three pieces are just regular dies. I'll show you one of the ways that I've used them. This is the little shovel. This is the little flower set, and this is the little basket set. So there are a lot of coordinating pieces between the stamps and the dies. And then we have this gorgeous designer series paper. There are 12 different designs, double-sided, and 4 sheets of each in the 6x6 pack. So there's the front and the back, the front and the back. And the colors are much prettier than they are in my picture. Really, honestly. They just, I don't know, the watercolors are just beautiful. The artist did a great job on this paper. All the black-eyed Susans, brown-eyed Susans, whatever you call them. Everybody calls them something different, don't they? That's nondescript, but the colors are very vibrant, as is the blue on the back. Daisies. But the paper itself, you could just make beautiful cards with. It's awesome. Alright, I'm going to stick that aside. And let's start. I have a little basket here. I'm going to start with some, this is Basic Beige. This is Mossy Meadow. And then this is Petunia Pop. I just liked the difference in the contrast. And I'm going to just do some stamping and coloring. So I love the wheelbarrow, so I'm going to stamp the wheelbarrow. And let's see, what else do I like besides everything? Because I don't have that many blocks. Let's see, we'll pull out a couple more blocks. Let's see, we could probably do, I love the rain boots. I might do those on the inside. You see the rain boots? And let's see, what else? I love the watering can. I don't know what happened to all my small blocks. They seem to be MIA. I don't know why. But I do have the little itty bitty blocks. I think I put them in. I'm doing a class on Tuesday at the Senior Center, and I think I put them on that and then put it in with the stuff that I was taking. I want to use the little garden tools because they really are cute. I think that's good for now. All right. And I'm going to stamp them on this. This is Basic Beige. For those of you that don't know, this is a new standard color like the white and the vanilla. It's called Basic Beige. I'll show you the difference. Let's see. So this is vanilla and this is the Basic Beige. So it's a little less bright, but I like it very much. All right, I got some Memento ink here. Whoops. And I'm just going to design the card right and then color right on this. Make sure I got it all. I think I'll put this down here. There we go. I'll clean them all at the same time. Now this is, I have the inside. So I think I'm going to put the boots on the inside. I love the boots, the little rain boots. They are adorable. And then, let's see, the watering can. There we go. Make it look like somebody's watering the plants. And then our little tools. I'm going to cover my Memento because otherwise I'll end up with it all over me. Stick that aside for a minute while I quickly pose my stamps so I don't end up with the black all over me, because I will. So for those of you that don't know, this is the Stampin' Scrub, and I sprayed it with a Stampin' Mist. And I'm just going to give it a little wash, a little dry. Wash and dry. Now you may say to yourself, hey, wait, that's not clean. Well, it really is, but these polymer stamps pick up any red pigment in inks that you use, and it stains them a little bit. But it does not change the way that you can use them, so that's good. All right. And I forgot to get out my Petunia Pop ink. Just going to stick all these aside because I don't need them. Because I want to stamp. I think I'll use, can't imagine having a better friend. And thinking of you. So I'll use these. These are D blocks. I tend to put them a little bit at an angle because I find that as I'm holding it, if I'm holding it like this, it's hard to see. So if I'm doing it at an angle, I can do it like this. Alright, hold on, I gotta grab the Petunia Pop. Sorry if I make noise or hit the camera. There we go. Alright. I'm gonna put this on the inside. Make sure it's good and inked. And I like using different things on the different colors on the inside because then it looks more, you know, you've hand done it. Make it look like, you know, you put a lot into it. Thinking of you. So this is going to be a pretty flat card because I want to put it in the mail and I don't want to pay the extra postage. Silly me, but no, it's getting expensive. But I love doing this. I love making cards and sending them to people. So see how there's that red pigment in these? So that's not going to come as clean as I'd like, but it does not change the quality of the product. Alright. They're all clean. So now I'm not going to end up with ink all over me. Alright. And I pull out my Stampin' Blend markers. So I have Old Olive, Daffodil Delight, Petunia Pop, Blueberry Bushel. This is the light black, and then the Smoky Slate. So I'm going to start. I want the watering can, to me, is more of a Smoky Slate. I'm going to start with the dark just to kind of give it a shadow at the bottom. And then fill it in with the light. I'm also going to make this dark. And then take my light. Some people color it all light and then blend it, but I don't know why. I've just always done the dark first. And then I go back with the dark if I want. Now, these Stampin' Blends, so see, can you see how I added a little bit of a shadow to that? These Stampin' Blend markers are alcohol based. Now while I have this out, I'm going to color in the metal on the wheelbarrow. So these are alcohol based, and that's what allows the nice smooth coloring. You know how sometimes when you have the Stampin' Right markers, you look and you say, oh gee, you can kind of see the lines. Well, that's what's great about these alcohol markers, is you don't see that. And you can blend different colors together too. If you don't have to use just the dark and just the light. Sometimes when I'm doing a larger leaf, I'll take like 3 different color greens and just kind of blend them together to add an extra look. Alright. And these to me are metal, so I'm gonna color these. And this is the light. And I'm going to color I'm just going to add a little smidge of shadowing to this little shovel here. And if I don't like the line, whoops, I'm just smooth it together again and it'll blend in. And I'm going to add a little crumb cake to the handles, because to me that's about what the color is of the handles of gardening tools. And I'm going to use the light basic black for the tire. Now the reason that I did this is because I wanted it black, but I wanted it a little bit lighter than the memento that I stamped it in. I'm not much of a colorer. That's what's great about the Stampin' Up! Products is it can take it can make somebody that's not artistic, such as myself, look artistic. Plus, I love coloring. It's kind of relaxing to me, you know. But this goes together pretty quickly. Now, I want to color the wheelbarrow, the blueberry bushel. I don't know why. Probably because when I was growing up, my dad's wheelbarrow was blue. So that's probably why. That's the only reason I can think of. But I'm just going to go in between the flowers and make sure I don't miss the edge. Sorry, I'm trying to concentrate so I can't talk at the same time. It's not like chewing gum and walking at the same time. And I'm just going to add a little shadow of the dark underneath. And then I'll blend it out with the light. Whoops, that was the light. Let's try that play again. There we go. Here's the dark. So you can go right over it and change the color. Now, if it was a totally different color, it would come out different. You just have to be careful of what colors you blended together, or you'll end up with a totally different color. Now, so these Stampin' Blend markers, they do have two different sides, a marker end and a brush end. I tend to use the brush end for very delicate things because that brush end is very delicate. I'm just going around these leaves because if I don't, I'll scribble right over them. Like I said, I'm not an artistic person, so I have to take precautions. But it's fun. And whoever you send this to will be thrilled. Alright. So you can see a little bit of shading. I'll add a little more shadows with the dark. Gives it a little more contrast. You see the difference? So I'm going to use the Old Olive. Well, the dark Old Olive tends to come out like the Mossy Meadow, so that's why I'm using the Old Olive. And I'm just going to color in these leaves. It won't take long. It's relatively quick. And if you accidentally color the wrong thing in, don't worry about it. Nobody's going to say, gee, I don't like this card. You accidentally colored one leaf purple instead of green. They don't know the difference. They just say, look at that lovely card that you've made. And that's the point, to make somebody's day. You know, you get unexpected emails every once in a while, some funny jokes, but when somebody takes the time to make a card and put a stamp on it, go to the post office, it just means a lot. I do it a lot for ladies from church. Alright, this is Petunia Pop. I just wanted the dark color, something to pop. And I'm just going to color these flowers. And I'm using the dark Petunia Pop. I could use both. Maybe I will use both. Let's see what happens when I use both. Let's experiment. So I'll color some with the dark and some with the light. Let's see how it comes out. Oh yeah. Because not all flowers are the same color, are they? My daughters brought me a beautiful begonia plant today. They said it looked like little butterflies, little yellow butterflies. So they gave it to me as a late Mother's Day gift. Just going to color these yellow. This is Daffodil Delight, just to give it a little more contrast. And see, I'm just scribbling in. This doesn't have to be perfect. Then I'm going to fill in my spaces with the light old olive, just to make the wheelbarrow full. You don't have to, but I am. It's just a personal preference. And then back to this light black. I forgot to color the handles. And I forgot to color the little spout with water on it that we said we're watering the plants. Alright, I'm going to stick this aside. Oh, nope, I forgot the rain boots. Silly me. I thought I would do some smoky slate for the little buckles. And then color the boots yellow. I don't know why, but to me, rain boots are yellow. I suppose everybody's different, but they could be bright red. They could be blue to match my wheelbarrow. But this stamp set, there's just so many different things you can do. And you could make little note cards. You could stamp some and make them, you know, like your own designer series paper. Alright, stick that aside. So I got this for the inside and this for the outside. What did I do with my Stampin' Seal? Oh, I put my Stampin' Blends on top of it. Silly me. So I'm just going to put this on the inside. And this is 4 by 5 1/4. And the card base is just 8.5 by 5.5 scored at 4 1/4. Just the basic card, but it means the world to somebody, so that's all that matters. And like I said, I'm making it all flat. I did make this a little bit smaller so that I would see more of this color. So this I made at 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. There we go. So if you're just handing this to somebody, or if you want to spend the extra in postage, you could have added dimensionals to any of this. All right. Then I'm going to take some of these little birds and put them on here. Let's see. Because they're flat, they don't stick up, which is nice. Let's see. And then I think I'll put a little dragonfly in the flowers. There. Quick and simple, but it'll mean the world to somebody. All right, the next card I'm going to do is a little more complicated. I decided to be a little fancy. So, I took from my dies I took this window or arch die. And if you saw my post earlier in the week, I think I posted. No, maybe I didn't. All right, anyway. I made some cards with this piece here that I cut out of the designer series paper. And I thought, gee, won't that be cool if I did something a little more with it. So I took the die and I cut this exact same piece here. So I used two sheets of the exact same designer series paper. And what I did was I lined, let's pretend I didn't cut this yet. And I took this piece and centered it the way I wanted it. And then I put this piece underneath it, like so. And I took a Post-it note and stuck it down so that it would be in the exact spot that I wanted. And I ran it through the stamp cut and emboss machine. So now I'm going to put this on the front, but I'm going to use the foam adhesive strips on the back. I'm going to pull it out. It's kind of messy. Whoop, it's stuck. Not good. Not good. All right. And I'm going to get my snips out so that I can cut it that length. It's all coming off, but I'm gonna just put it flat and then cut it just a smidge smaller. Don't know if that worked too well. I'll cut a little bit off because I don't want it to stick out. I have another piece here. I'm just going to put pieces around the edge. It's all coming apart. And it's very sticky. I'm just going to cut this. Now, I could make a shaker card out of this, but I decided not to. Alright. Now it doesn't want to stick for me. I'll just stick it like that. Alright. Peel the backings off. Hopefully it's landing in the trash. Alright, I think all the backs are off. And then I'm going to line this up. Right on the hole that we cut. Like so. So it gives it an extra lift. You see that? Give it an extra lift. Then on the inside, this one, this piece, this goes in here. So this is 5 1/4 by 4. But this piece, I wanted to go from the top to the bottom because I want to put this on here. Now, before I do that, I want to make sure that this piece lines up with this one. So now comes the tricky part. All right. So I'm hoping there we go. Yep. So I'm going to put some Stampin' Seal on the back of this. And center it as best I can, which is how I had planned it. And then I'm going to put it here. So I'm not going to add seal to this half. So I'm just going to put it here. Close it back up. Center it like that. So now it looks 3D. Isn't that cool? And then I'm going to put this piece on the inside, but it needs a sentiment. I thought I would use happy birthday. So I have a little piece here. The front's so pretty, I don't want to put anything on over it. I don't know. I just don't know. I didn't plan this out too well, did I? Maybe I could just stick it down here. But I like the 3D look. Maybe I'll just stick it on the inside. Okay. That's what I'm doing. Happy birthday. On the inside. And I'm going to use Pretty Peacock to match the card base. There. And I don't know, should I put some flowers on the inside? Can't decide. Just cleaning this while I'm thinking. I don't know. I could. Just to give it a little extra. Well, you know what I haven't used yet? Are these birds. So let's do the birds. But I don't think I should do it in this color. I think I will do it in crumb cake. Oops, sorry for the squeak. A few yard birds. Oh, that's cute. Perfect. I know, sometimes sometimes I think I should have a sentiment on the front and a sentiment on the inside, but it doesn't always need it, does it? Alright, I'm going to center this in the middle panel so that when it's closed, you don't see it. And then I think instead of the birds, I'm going to add some of these sequins. Could add it to the inside, the outside. You know, it does seem kind of plain, doesn't it? I don't know what else to add to it. I don't know. I like it though. Simple. Alright, I'm not going to overthink it. I'll be done with it. Alright, so that's it for for what we're going to do tonight. So these are the cards that I put online earlier this week. Here's the first one I did. And this is just the designer series paper. It speaks for itself, just like on this card. And then I showed you this one. So these I colored and then cut out with the dies. And these colored and cut out with the dies also. And then I took those funky dies that I showed you. Open this up. These three, 1, 2, 3. And I did some greens like grass and then a little mound of dirt. And then I just did that flower and cut it out and colored it. And then this one I had done a while ago and never did anything with. So I added happy birthday and the embellishments. And then this is the piece that I cut out of here. And I put this with the rope embossing folder. And then see, I cut out this. Remember I said there are two different types of fence. So here's the one that's just the white picket fence. And then I colored some flowers. Just put a strip on the inside of the designer series paper that accompanies it. I did that for this too. Anyway, possibilities are totally endless with this. I hope you've learned something. I hope I've inspired you. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me. Next Sunday is Paper Pumpkin Night, Kit Night. If you would like to join us on Zoom, please don't hesitate to contact me for the link. I would love to have you join our group. It's a lot of fun. Until then, happy stamping.